Okay, we're going to look at the last example on page 383. Example 6, astronomy. The Mars exploration rovers, Opportunity and Spirit, are robots that were sent to Mars in 2003 in order to gather geological data about the planet. The temperature at the landing sites of the robots can range from negative 100 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so it asks us to do three things: write a compound inequality, solve and graph it, and then identify three temperatures at the landing site. Okay, so our first step, we're going to write a compound inequality. Because the temperature at the landing site ranges from negative 100 to 0, we're just going to say, okay, our temperature can be less than, can be greater than or equal to negative 100 degrees Celsius, or it can be less than or equal to 0. Okay? Next, we're going to substitute in 5/9 times F minus 32, or Fahrenheit minus 32, for Celsius. So we're going to say, okay, negative 100 degrees, because we want to convert it to Fahrenheit. So we're going to change Celsius to our Fahrenheit formula, which is going to be 5/9 times Fahrenheit minus 32 is less than or equal to 0. Now we're going to simply solve this. Okay, so what I'm going to do in order to solve it is I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 5/9, which would be 9/5. So everything gets multiplied by 9/5. Of course, over here 9/5, so it'll cancel out. And then 9/5, but we know what's going to happen anytime we multiply anything by 0, it equals 0. So what we're going to have left here in the middle is Fahrenheit minus 32, and then I'm going to multiply 9 times negative 100 is negative 900 over 5, and when we divide that out, that equals negative 180. Okay? And then, of course, from there, what we're going to do is we are going to add 32 to both sides, to all sides. So our F will be by itself, less than or equal to 0 plus 32 is 32, and then negative 180 plus 32 is negative 148. So in Fahrenheit, we see that our temperature ranges from negative 148 to 32 degrees. Now, of course, when I graph that, you want your graph to be where it's reflecting the temperatures. So we're going to kind of set our graph up where we have negative 150, negative 100, negative 50, then we're going to have 0, and then positive 50 on the other side. So we see here our temperature can range, it's greater than negative 148, but it's less than right about 32. So I'm just going to kind of estimate. Notice how I used the solid dot on 32 because our temperature is less than or equal to 32, but it's greater than negative 148, so we used an open circle. And then it said, well, identify three possible temperatures. That's temperatures that would fall in between these. So, you could pick anything. Negative 115 degrees could be Fahrenheit, could be a temperature. 15 degrees Fahrenheit. 32 degrees can certainly be temperature because we can be less than or equal to that. Of course, you could have picked three totally different temperatures as long as they fall between these two values. In other words, as long as it's 32 or less than or greater than negative 148. So I could have said, okay, negative, let's see here, negative 110, and then 10 degrees, and 31 degrees, and I still would be correct.